dark.
That's a little.
You know,
yeah, that's a little harsh.
A friend of mine once dumped a girl for another dude. He called her on the phone and said, just real like shy. He's like, hey, do you feel like dog shit? And she's like, no, why? Do you feel like dog shit? No, why? Because you just got dumped. That was the most savage thing.
Oh my
that
God.
was like, I was just like, damn.
I like Tim's with the dinosaurs that you have in common. It just like
it's almost like a Schwarzenegger line, almost. You know, like that would be like, what do you have in common with the dinosaur? You're dead.
Yeah.
Is your dad?
Only
Daddy, a dinosaur?
Oh, look who Dave finally let out of the attic.
Oh.
Hi.
It's the German.
German's turn to hide in the attic.
But we're down one. We're down one.
Where's Gary?
What was that?
Huh?
Gary! Where's Gary?
Oh, Dick Simmons. Hey, everybody. What's going on? Unfortunately for you, God help us all, I, Extra Zero, I'm your host for tonight. So welcome to episode 20 of Breaking the Mold.
I'm out.
Holy shit. Oh, fuck. No, we got 20 episodes and you're out. Jesus. So, for the uninitiated, we are the newest podcast on the Cool Table Network. And be sure to watch us here live on YouTube every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Realm Collectors YouTube channel. And you can also check us Realm. Oh, man, I missed it. I'm fucking up hosting already. So be sure to watch us here live on YouTube every Tuesday night. You can also catch up on our previous shows. And be sure to, Brian Brink, what can they do with that like button?
They can kill bosses, slam it, of course.
Fuck yeah.
Turkey.
No, not the turkey.
Turkey.
Not gobble it. They gotta slam it. With the beef.
Gobble that knob. Be sure to share, subscribe, and click that notification bell while you're at it. All that good stuff. We're also on iTunes, Google Play, through Podcast Addict, and be sure to leave us a 5-star review because that really helps us out. And if you're checking us out on YouTube, we've got a live chat going on. Be sure to participate. As always, we'll shout you out at the end of the show. And we've got a cool giveaway tonight. So for the folks in the chat, stay tuned. Also, real quick, I want to give a shout out to Crashbox Customs. They are the official Mezco supplier of the Realm Collectors. Visit Crashbox Customs on social media for all your Mezco 112 needs. Mention Realm. Man, you guys are delayed for a surprise gift. And also shout out to Crashbox for hitting 1,000 followers on Instagram. Be sure to follow them and Realm of Collectors on Instagram. Use the hashtags, #Realm of Collectors, #Crashbox 1K giveaway. Repost their image with the hashtag picture. For May 28th, they're doing a giveaway, and they'll be announcing the winner on May 28th. Let's go down the panel. Mr. Brian Brink.
Yo,
hey.
What's up, man? I'm feeling better. I think it'll be 1 week tonight that I got this cold. So, or that when it showed up. So I'm hoping that's it. Hoping tomorrow, wake up nice and fresh. No sniffles.
Very cool. Yeah, I got a little bit of the pollen going on myself.
Oh, yeah? I'm fortunate to not have the allergies.
Hey, fucking Delaware. Did you get anything cool this week?
I did not get anything this week. No, nothing.
Holy shit. Is that a first for 2018?
I think it might be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, shout out to saving money.
We'll circle back to that. Because I think we'll be touching base on that a little bit coming up. Mr. David Cologne, Energon Addict, how you doing tonight, man?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
Oh, you had like a good intro too. That sucks.
Yeah.
No, man.
Am I here now?
Now you're
You got to do it all over.
What's good, man? What's good? Happy Tuesday, guys.
I want the same energy that you had before when you were on mute.
All I said was like, oh shit, he's calling me by my government, but it's all good. I give it at the end of the show anyway. But
I know you do.
I'm good, man. fucking
get deported.
Tuesday. It's fucking storming out here. I'm worried about the power going out because the trees are really shaken by me. But aside from that, as far as toy holes go, I got a few things. I got more Figwart stuff, just filler stuff. So nothing really to speak about. Nothing fun.
What you feeling, Dave?
I'm still filling the gaps.
Filling the gaps.
Army building like Gary does.
Yeah,
Filling that fucking starfish.
Yeah.
Filling that starfish. I don't get that one.
Balloon knot. Your balloon knot, Dave. Your balloon knot.
Yep.
Oh, fuck you.
Right up the pooper.
What was it you said earlier in the chat, JD?
What about suppositories? Sticking. What was it? Sticking things up your ass doesn't make you an asshole.
Yes.
Maybe it does.
There you go. All right, moving right along. Big Dom, how you doing, buddy?
Speaking of assholes.
Whoa!
Oh!
It's in my last name, buddy. So I gotta live with it. Sorry, that's how God made me. What did I get this week? I picked up some mythic Legion figures. So I got Kick-Ass Knight. I'm just gonna call. I know you know the names, JD, but I'm gonna call them by my names.
Fuck you, Dom.
Kick-Ass Knight.
Fuck you, Dom.
Dom, where'd you get him from?
eBay.
Oh, and you got a good deal on them because I see they're going up for a lot of money now.
Yeah, like I paid $75 for each. So
that's not that bad.
For these guys, they're worth it. Believe me. They go a little bit higher, so I thought I got a good deal. And this is the stuff that I was looking for in that line. So unfortunately, it came out in that first wave, so they're hard to get.
What's the other one you got?
I got Mr. Heavenly Knight.
Ooh.
I might change this guy into.
He's fucking naming them. I love it.
Yeah, this guy looks. It's just amazing, the detail in the wings and everything. I wasn't for the wings on the helmets, but like when you look at the sculpt and the detail that goes into them, it's just amazing.
Yeah, I saw them at Skullfest, and they were impressive.
Mm-hmm. And I got
that Mr. Heavenly Knight reminds me a little bit of a Redeemer from Spawn.
Just a little bit, yep.
And the last I got Pearly Knight. Mr. Pearlescent Knight.
Put it in front of the camera.
Sorry.
Oh, sweet.
That's nice, man.
That looks good.
Yeah.
Like, it's really nice that it's not even painted. It's just the type of plastic that he used, and it just gives that pearlescent that coating. So I like him. I got one more brother to pick up, and I'm on to a couple other things that I'm looking for. So.
You gonna do a Castle Dio?
No, I'm not like JD. I'm not gonna build a castle.
He's not talented.
I'm not talented.
or is they
looking dick?
Well, you know what?
I can't wait to post pictures of this thing. Holy fuck!
Yeah, like
just saying.
JD's at a totally different level, dude.
He's on another realm.
Oh, guys.
Well,
so moving right along. Jose, how are you doing, my friend?
What is up, guys? I'm coming off an amazing weekend. I took an impromptu trip down to Richmond, Virginia, to visit my mom and my sisters for Mother's Day and give my mom a surprise. And it was a good time, even though the time was short. I was only there basically like a day and a half. But memories made, priceless, and I'm going to be doing my best to try to relocate down there, be a little bit closer to the family because I missed them a lot. No halts to speak of, just good times. It's been back to reality for the past couple of days, so just happy to be here with you guys, having a drink, and looking forward to tonight. Cheers.
Cheers.
I wish I had made a drink. It's been left out.
There's mine.
All right, JD.
What's up, me bags?
How you doing, buddy?
How we doing? How is everybody?
JD, what's up?
He's got some rare energy tonight. I'm liking it.
Yeah, man.
You like it?
Got that mythic energy.
Yeah.
Too bad you can't see what's going on down here.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
It's those stripper lights behind him that's getting him all worked
Right.
up.
So that's why you had the peanut butter out before.
What are the dogs going to work on the peanut butter right now?
I was going to say he got
Not.
batting around his ball bag.
Hey, I got 2 hands, all right?
Behave.
So,
Oh,
just
that's
saying.
cool. Are you jerking off to 6 other dudes? I guess that's cool.
Come on now. We've all been in the same room before.
We have.
We have.
There's
We know what's up.
photography.
Uh-huh. Anyway. Haul-wise, I have not gotten much. Yeah. It's been light. Got a bunch of foam for projects. That's about it.
What about froth? Did you get any froth?
Froth? No. No froth. I got that Batman Ninja movie. Chan picked that up for me.
You watch it yet?
Nice.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
JD,
It's rather interesting.
JD, are you even like
I dug it too.
Are you a comic guy?
A little. It depends.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't.
If it's on audio, just tell me
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, you don't talk Marvel, you don't talk DC usually. I was curious.
I mean, I'm a little bit of a fan. I like the DC cartoons. I really like those. They're really good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
They seem to nail that sort of stuff. But
Mhm.
their movies suck dick.
I agree on the animation. They do good animation.
Yeah.
Movies.
And stories, man. I like those. I like those stories. Like Under the Red Hood, I think is still one of my favorites.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Yep. That was a good one.
I don't want to get Tim going. I know he's a fanboy, but The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2,
Mhm.
and
Excuse me.
they got your boy to voice Peter Weller.
Now, is Under the Red Hood a Red Riding Hood story?
Yes.
It's okay.
Totally.
All right,
Just want to make sure.
excused from the chat.
Just want to make sure we're on the same page.
No, it's if you haven't seen it, Dom, I think you might really enjoy it.
I could Google Drive it to you, dude. I'll make it easy.
Yeah,
for you.
why don't you
Watch
do
the
that so I don't watch it at all?
But I like the DC animated movies because they're great, like one-offs. You don't have to, you can just pick one up and you don't need to see any previous material. They're
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
They're
that
good
forced
standalone.
approach to universe.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I got some shit on the way, and Chan got the forest troll and the rock troll. She got a damn good deal on those, and they're
Nice.
fucking awesome. She
So
left them here.
why isn't she on the show to tell us that herself then?
Well, I don't know.
Because
She's
you don't want
not
her
here.
stealing Tim's thunder.
That's right. There we go.
I mean, Tim paid extra to be the exclusive guest tonight. By the way, Tim, I'm waiting for that check to clear.
You've been
And I
waiting a
told
long
you
time.
You gotta wait for that conversion.
Are they Deutschmarks or some shit?
Deutschmarks, it's gone. Way gone.
He's gonna pay you in pop-up books.
Classic.
So we got a special guest tonight, Mr. Tim K, all the way from Germany. Longtime viewers of the show remember Tim from the old Hangouts. He's also the driving force behind Figure Photography Crate, and it's a pleasure to have you on tonight. So
Thank you
Tim,
for having me.
how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty swell, to use a word JD unearthed a few weeks back somewhere. It's all good. We have pretty much the best of weather over here in Germany, and I'm
Tim,
feeling
you and
pretty
the
good.
weather. Every week, it's a post about you and the weather. What?
Yeah. I can tell you exactly about that.
I got an app on my phone.
Because he can't post about Toys R Us closing, and he can't post about Black Panther, so he has to post about the weather. Leave
Well, those are two good reasons, but also usually my town has what I like to call a private cloud. So meaning once the cloud is there, the cloud is there, it just stays, and we have bad weather. So when we have good weather, this is really mentioning.
Can you upload data to your private cloud?
Not to that one. Not to that one.
Okay.
Not to
Just
that
want
one.
to make sure.
Who's the character that had a cloud follow him all the time? Was that like Mr. Magoo or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Do old people question how the cloud works?
No. Just look.
I always got to remember Creed when he was like, "Hey, it's all up in the cloud." Cloud? That's pretty much the same. Nah, otherwise it's all good. Brian, I would stop mentioning the weather. I'm sorry. I don't want to offend you.
Did you get anything cool this week?
I didn't get anything cool this week. But I finally got my first fans toys. Sovereign.
See that's
What?
something cool.
Nice.
That's something cool.
Yeah, that's I finally jumped the gun and I got him, and I'm very impressed with it. And I got my Mark 6 back, so my Hot Toys diecast Mark 6 with all that good articulation and everything. And for now, no pre-order, but I do think about a rabbit hole. I'm thinking about MMC DJD, but that's
You should do it.
You should do it.
Yeah, you could
yeah.
You don't have much catching up to do. Might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw Anarchist over on Kapow Toys for a good deal, so that's what I'm thinking of.
I got a good deal on Coulter if you need it. I'm selling mine for $500.
Excuse me, did you say good deal?
Yeah, it is. Dude, the fucking thing's skyrocketing. It's like $700 now. $800.
That's like saying my Hulkbuster
Oh,
was
that's
a
the
good
flame
thing.
toys. My bad.
No.
Mine transforms. It costs double.
All right.
What about you, Zero? How are you? What did you get this week? Oh, we can't hear you.
Oh, he can't hear you.
You're
got
on
all
mute
time.
now.
All
He
right.
muted himself.
See how fast karma comes around? We couldn't hear Dave before, now it's Zero. Come on.
That's no, it's still
Nope.
mute.
Uh-oh, Tim, I guess you're going to have to take over the hosting duties.
You gotta
bro.
talk. Nope.
Unplug and plug back in.
That's very strange.
Tim, did you mute him?
No, that was his Xbox. It was offended because he turned it off.
He's blaming his Xbox.
You Man,
What did Tim do? Tim worked some voodoo.
Check that.
so
Can
Yeah.
you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
What the fuck happened there? All right. So I don't know how far I got, but TGIT, it's good to be here with you motherfuckers. I've been having a great week, despite being on call. But yeah, weather's been good. I'll give Tim that over here in Maryland. I got a couple cool things this week since what did I do with it? Here it is. Since Gary's dead, I took his G2 grinder.
where did you pull that from?
Oh.
I drove to Ocean City and I found him overdosed on creatine. So, I left his beloved Unique Toys dog so he can be buried with him. So
I don't get the hype about those dogs, man.
it's just Gary loves dogs.
It's like me with my fucking Ewoks, bro.
I also got an MMC piece that
Or your
I've been
Germans
wanting
in the
for a
attic.
long time. Never pulled the trigger on, and they had a good price on BBS. I got the what do you call it? Now you guys are all silent. What the hell happened?
I hear
Look
you.
at your pickup there. Look at you. Now
He muted us. What's-
I had to unplug and plug my headset back in.
All right.
All right. I got this MMC piece, the Starscream from
Hearts of Steel.
Hearts of Steel. Thank you.
What is that?
You never saw those, Dom? Those are like one of the first.
Yeah,
few
that's
MMC
like
stuff that came
they were the way back when. When you
Does
go
he
back to
transform
dinosaurs?
into one of those Red Baron planes or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
he
do.
turns into like this weird weird like it's not a biplane, but it's like a steam plane. It's weird. I
Jordan,
love
what made you go buy that?
Deluxe Baldwin.
Oh, you gotta stop hanging out with Deluxe.
Hey, Deluxe is good people. Check out his review on Nitro. Shout out to Deluxe. He reviewed one of my figures on his channel.
Nice.
Oh, that's great.
You're famous now, aren't you?
I'm a star fucker is what I am.
Yeah,
No, let
you are a
Bobby
star
review
fucker.
stuff. I let Team review stuff. I appear on their channels, and now I'm schmoozing with you assholes and on Deluxe's channel. And last but not least, I got Black Panther on 4K Blu-ray in the Steelbook. I like this Steelbook a lot too.
Oh,
I feel sorry for
cool.
you.
You were
Nice.
silver.
You
Cool.
feel sorry for me, Dom? Why are you racist?
I'm not racist. I'm just, just saying. I feel sorry.
So Jordan, what made you pick up that Starscream? Just to like complete like all the MMC stuff, or just wanted to fuck with it?
I think I want to complete the MMC stuff. I'm a big fan of their figures, their transformations. I kind of have a little bit of a Starscream collection going on.
Yeah,
I've got
And you have an Optimus Prime collection.
Yeah, I've got the Prime collection. I've also got a lot of Starscreams. I've got like pretty much every incarnation of Starscream that's existed.
So what day do you meet with Deluxe and talk about Starscream?
And then what day is left that you meet up with Brian?
It's basically when Deluxe has free time and
Okay.
and he's bored of Belisa and Gator, he'll hit me up and be like, "Hey there, Zero, how y'all doing? We'll talk about some Starscream."
So,
Break
so Jordan, what's the deal with the G2 Grimlock too? What's that about?
So I have a G2 collection going on.
Oh,
Oh my God!
He had that as a kid. I remember.
Yeah.
He
So that's right.
Back in the day,
Yeah, G2 was where I didn't get Transformers that were solely hand-me-downs, or it was exciting. I was old enough to really know what was going on. I was able to go and actually make my own purchases.
Yep.
And
Same
so
here.
yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, so I was born in '85. For those that don't know, so when I was about 3 and 4, I was getting into Transformers, and that's when Transformers were phasing out. So I got the shows were in reruns, and I couldn't get characters like Grimlock or the regular Optimus Prime. And G2 was kind of cool, and I got some of those weird color schemes. So the Grimlock was the Grimlock I had when I was a kid. So to have a Masterpiece version and have that with Sideswipe, Bumblebee, and the Laser Prime, that's a cool shelf.
Okay.
So
I won't deny.
yeah. That said, I've been making some odd purchases. Our buddy Gary is unfortunately here. He's not dead. He's on a business trip. But so if anybody's like worried or posting like in memory of G Money, you can hold it on there. We don't do that. But we have like a chat between us and Gary. Was crunching some numbers on what he's been spending on figures, and it was kind of eye opening. And one of the questions I want to pose for you all night is: do you guys ever just kind of look back over a month and just kind of crunch the numbers on what you're spending on your collection?
Absolutely not.
A little bit.
I already know Dom's answer, but as personally for me, you know what I'm saying?
What's my answer, Jose? What's my answer?
Well, you're gonna tell us in a few minutes
Okay,
after I
that's it.
finish running.
I could do it. But
So Dom's
I wait for
Dom's
Jose
a
to
little
go
bit
first.
different. Dom's a little bit different. So when Dom gets a turn, I have a couple questions for him,
Awesome.
because it's almost like a business.
Awesome.
But
Let's go. What's Jose? Jose, what do you think about? Tell the people.
I was actually, Gary brought it up in the chat, and I actually did look over like my order history with BBTS, like, in the recent past. I'd probably say within the last 6 months. I'd probably say about 6 months ago. And when you're just kind of like looking and you're just seeing everything and you're seeing the numbers, I never really keep track because I live check to check. And I budget for everything, make sure I got money for bills and, all that gets taken care of first, savings and whatnot. And then, whatever you have to play around with, that's what you do. So, you make these purchases here and there and like I've never really gone back to look and be like, okay, like in this year I made such and such purchases and this is what I spent on this. And if you do that, it's a fucking eye opener just looking at those numbers just offhand, just scrolling through the order history. I could imagine if I actually did the math, full fledged, I'd probably be like, what the fuck am I doing? You know what I'm saying? So, I am going to be a little bit more responsible in regards to that, though. Like, just to kind of, as far as like plans, I do want to kind of relocate and kind of get out of the city. And, so funds for me are going to be limited, and I'm going to have to refocus, funds into like a savings to do the things I need to do. So, I'm going to be looking at purchases like in the future, and actually, have to pick and choose as far as like the things I want. So what about you guys?
I will say that I do not go back and look back, but when my what do you call it? The money that I spend on myself is usually attached to a single credit card, because that's the one that PayPal's linked to and all that other shit. And when I see that one's got it, like when I'm paying bills at the end of the month and that one's pretty high, I'm like, oh, but if it's low, I'm like, all right, I kind of have an idea that I didn't spend that much on toys. But I tell you, one of the things that freaks me out a little bit when I go back is I really don't go back and look at what I spent. And I mean, everything in this room has happened like in the last 6 years, right? And except for a lot of these primes over here. But I look at my eBay feedback, and back in 2012, my eBay feedback was around like 25, 30. And now when I look at it today, it's 388. And I'm like, and it's all toys, right? I'm just like, son of a bitch. I mean, that's just a reminder of what I fucking turned into. When I got back into it and started rolling again. It's a good thing they don't make it easy for you to find out how much you spent on eBay. At least with the app anyway. So God, I'd hate to go look at that number. That would be nuts.
So Dom, I know for everybody that knows you kind of do this as a business. A lot of it is you kind of like speculative purchases. So how do you handle it?
How do I handle it?
With both hands?
With the
You only need one hand.
With a bottle of vodka. That's how I handle it. Well, I'm originally a collector. I collected, and from the start. Do I keep track of what I buy? Yes, I keep track of what I buy, how much I buy, what the prices that I bought them for.
Hey Dom, I gotta cut you off.
What's up?
Do you round, or do you do to the decimal and cents?
I round.
No, you don't. You fucking sack of shit.
So you want me to round? I'll round you, boy.
Go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off.
God, Dave, I tell you. We could get into some conversation right now, Dave, on you and me. But I'll leave that for like the Patreons. Talking like a true businessman.
A new steel chair.
Yeah. If you guys want to listen to me and Dave, go at it.
For as little for as $1,
that's $5.
Dave and Dom, go at it.
We could do this. No, I keep track. I keep track of what I buy, what I spend. And when I got into selling, I most definitely kept track of all that stuff. And then what I sold it for. I originally first didn't do that. I really didn't keep track of when I went to conventions and stuff, and what I sold and how much I sold it for. And then I kind of kicked myself in the ass a couple of times, because when you're trying to sell and you're trying to make a business out of it, you really should track on what you're selling the products for and stuff like that, and see what your cost is. But with my personal collection, I keep track of everything. It's just the business aspect of me. I'm a financial analyst. That's what I do for a living, and I like spreadsheets as much as Brian over there likes spreadsheets.
So you can't help yourself.
No, I can't help yourself. I build lists. I put prices. I shop around. I'll put a table together and say, this is what I want to get into. Yeah, this is what I want to get into. Sometimes, like, just for fun and shits and giggles, what I do, like, I'll start getting into a new line. And if I'm paying over for specific figures, I compare the difference that I'm paying over retail, and I try to subsidize that with things I sell.
Yeah.
So it justifies the fact that I don't spend over what retail is for all my figures. I just do shit like that.
Fucking calculating shit to the cent, yo.
I do this with
cent.
too. We had that previous topic where we talked about like insurance and insuring your collection. We had somebody in the realm that lost their collection. Adamus Nitron in the chat says he also keeps a list or keeps track for renter's insurance. That's what I do. But, it wasn't until Gary said something that I really crunched the numbers on mine. I threw a filter on that fucker and I went, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
As somebody that's like looking to buy a house soon, and trying to figure out what I want to spend monthly, I'm going to have to start cutting back a little bit, in order to get comfortable, get settled and start, having some money on the side for things that come up with the house or, as a renter, I have a little bit more room I don't have the space for the toys, but I have more room with my finances, which is the downside. But yeah, it's kind of creepy. Like when you crunch and see, like when I look and I see I spent $6,000 in April.
What?
I mean,
but that included a TV. So
well, yeah, or not April, February. That included the TV and that included my iPad and everything. So, yeah, it can be a little daunting. Tim, I know you're a bit more conservative with your buys. What's your mindset on all this?
Well, since Brian said all the purchases were the last 6 years, I turned around and I started thinking a little bit, and I guess all my purchases in my room are pretty much from 2009 till onwards. I don't pretty much keep track. I know from myself what everything costs, what it got me. Of course, it's all a little bit higher since once it got shipped here and customs and whatnot. It's a little bit more, but just like you say, I'm a little bit more conservative, and I'm not. I don't know. I do keep kind of track of my expenses, and I know my bank account. Who wouldn't? I don't get people who don't. But I'm not that kind of secure kind of dude that has spreadsheets and everything. Honestly, I hate fucking Excel, so I'm out of that. So no spreadsheets for me. And once in a while, I look around, and when people like ask me in something, I'm like, well, there is a certain amount of toys in my room that's maybe several $1,000. And they are like, what the shit? So that's for me. That's just a round figure number somewhere that's wobbling around. So I'm not keeping track too hard.
Mm-hmm. So you don't, you definitely don't keep track of like past purchases and stuff. Like I spent this much on figures in 2017, this much in 2016. Like,
well, I have my PayPal receipts and everything, and folders and everything, and laid it down. So if I want to keep,
if you want to, it's there. Yeah, it's there, of course.
That's it. But otherwise, when I think about the Mark 6, I mean that's a foot figure, and it's $400 for me. So, but when you keep it up, it's all that die cast, and I'm valuing shit differently today. When you think about, how I roll with the engineering and everything, it's just a whole different value. So that's it for me.
So JD,
yes, sir.
You're on the opposite end of the spectrum. You don't track anything at all.
No. I mean, I can't totally say I don't keep track of it. I have a good idea. I mean, all right. So since I was like 14 or 15, I've been collecting. So I mean, 25 years. See, after a while, you just kind of like, all right, whatever it costs this, I'm just gonna fucking buy it. I don't really give a shit. But I do keep all my receipts.
In a trash bag.
You don't even. I have a double drawered filing cabinet, and it is stuffed full.
Yeah, it just takes one room.
He's in like
pretty much.
Filing cabinet with one drawer.
Double drawers.
Yeah, I call my house 7 bedrooms. It's actually 8. One of those is all receipts.
Yes.
Are you refreshing those receipts?
Yep, all the time. No, I don't refresh anything.
Awesome.
So you
Not even my underwear.
just open the door a bit, and then you stuff in the next receipt, and you just close it off real
So
quick.
it's just fuel for a fire then.
He
basically.
slides
I mean,
under the door.
I could start the fire. That's for damn sure.
That door doesn't open.
JD,
Yeah.
you do that because you can claim some of the stuff that you buy, right?
Yeah. Sometimes I will pick certain items. I mean, like I did
certain items, all of items.
No, like a tax preparer is not gonna. He's not gonna accept every last receipt that you have. So, of course, I will pick certain things.
The big ticket items, right, JD? The big ones.
Oh, maybe like one or two of them. I try and stay a little, on the reasonable side of everything. Like I did a Dragon Ball Z sleeve for a guy. I started it anyway. The guy has never come back. So I went out and I bought every movie, the whole entire Dragon Ball series, the entire Dragon Ball Z series,
dude.
all those movies.
Do that. You just need to buy an artichoke if you want to fucking draw Dragon Ball Z.
What the fuck are you talking about, Brian?
A cucumber.
I had already had a bunch of the Figwarts figures, and I ended up buying a few other ones, and so maybe half of that stuff I ended up.
Yeah, I never really thought about that. Like, that you'd be able to use that as a write off. Sometimes
I do. If I I'm honest to a fault, of course. So, I take my receipts in, and it's only going to be what I used. So.
IRS doesn't watch this show. I doubt it.
Yeah, I know. But I've done it with a few of the Transformers that you see back here, and movie collections, stuff like that. But for the most part, yeah, I have a good idea of what I've spent over the years. I know what they cost when they came out. Like stuff from back when I was like 15 or like when I was 20, I know what the stuff cost. So I have a decent idea of, where it put me, but I don't keep track. I really don't. I can't. Especially when you look at like all these troopers and, you get into the troop building shit, then you're in trouble.
Someone once said too, it's good to document what you own through photography.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually have, Tim here, who's a pretty well-known photographer in the collecting community, and Jose is. You got to give Jose some credit too. He's kind of up and coming. But Tim, do you make sure to photograph all of your collection?
Well, I do now. I do nowadays because I'm upping my review game a little bit. So. At first, I wasn't too hard on that. I tried it. I had a normal digital camera where I started with things. I had the DX02 Batman, the old Dark Knight one, with the first parallel eye rolling system thingies and everything. And those pictures look bad. I really just looked those up today.
Mm-hmm.
So with the whole DSLR game I was in, and with the tripod and with the backgrounds and with the lights where I had an idea and stuff, it all pretty much changed big time.
What tripod makes you laugh, fucking Dom?
No, you gotta get new board. You gotta get new headset, man.
Well, I mean, Dom, you look like you're ready to beat some 12-year-olds on Xbox. Come on, man.
Nah, dude, it was. I heard JD say something.
What did I say?
What? From your anus.
I didn't say anything.
The barking spider.
That might have been this.
That barking spider.
We changed the show to breaking.
If I tore ass,
news.
I would absolutely take credit for it.
Okay.
Ass.
It's funny. A real quick fart story. This weekend, I was at my cousin's kid's party.
Realm of segues.
Well, I gotta get this one off my chest because it was funny.
Really?
I already got it out of my ass. So what more do you want? I was at my cousin's kid's party. It was my cheat meal day, and they had like a big Chick-fil-A platter, and they also had my other cousin made this 5-layer fucking tater tot dip. No, it was like tater tots and cream cheese and bacon, and for whatever reason, this shit made my farts smell like an ashtray with a turd in it. And we were playing. Playing beer pong, and I was playing next to my cousin's husband. He's a real big guy, and I stepped 2 steps back and ripped ass, and everybody was blaming him. And he was all red in the face. Of course, you blame the fat guy. So apologies to large people out there who get blamed for farts. Back on subject.
Poor guy. Yeah, it's not.
Back on
You're going
top,
to hell.
Yeah. I am going to hell, but we knew that.
Brammer
says Steamer Cleveland style. I think it was a Cleveland steamer, and I'm not from
He's obsessed with that stuff. Oh,
Honey Child likes when a deuce is dropped on a chest. Oh man.
Hey, well, in Germany, I hear they're into that shit. So, Tim, let's go.
Into that shit. Is that a play on words, Brian?
That was a one and a half.
Well, Tim, I have a couple questions. First of all,
yes.
What is Crate? So if you have Figure Photography Crate, you have Tim K's Review Crate. Everybody wants to know what is the significance of Crate?
Yeah, Crate reviews.
Yeah, what the fuck is Crate?
That's
that was actually just my idea quite a while ago, where I thought, okay, I wanna do something with reviews, but I don't want to make reviews in the classic sense. I don't want to rain on everyone's parade. If you want more details, I'm getting into that now too, and everything. You have these hands-on approach. You have the camera perspective where you only see the hands, and where you have the figure really up close and personal. But the thing that I was always missing with everything was the approach. You're getting home from work, you picked up a box, and you're getting home. You play little what's in the fucking box if you had multiples on order.
So the box is kind of like a term for crate and box are interchangeable.
No, the crate thing is I wanted a word to for like a house, a small room, a shed, but a shed wasn't quite the word, and I like the term crate, and since I already opened up Figure Photography Crate, and this was always for photography, and I wanted to cover a more universal approach with my reviews. That's why I did the Street Fighter book review. That's why I do the figures. That's why I do the podcast now and everything. That's why I started the Nerd Crate, to keep it a little bit more universal, but still under the Crate moniker.
Gotcha.
Now, I like that you have a brand. It's just, we've always wondered, like, where does Crate come from? I think that would be an interesting, topic for your channel.
Yeah,
and,
that's what I actually did on an Instagram Live before I launched the idea and everything with the banner and the avatar and everything.
Yeah, the unique thing about your channel too is that you do the reviews in German. You take the time to sub them in English.
Yeah.
So, I know you're very fluent in English. That had to have been an interesting decision to make, just because of the broad audience versus specializing for the German audience.
Yeah, well, the thing is, many people from the realm. I mean, I share this around. They brought me big support. I'm now 60 in subscribers. That's still pretty small, but from the things that I did, it's something like, okay, I got 60 subscribers. Like, what the fuck? So that's it for me. So it was kind of the thing for me to give back a little. Just a little. So when people are actually interested in what I am doing and what my shit is looking like, I wanted to actually understand that too, and not only hearing some jibber jabber and thinking, yeah, okay, that guy is talking obviously about the Iron Man. It says the title, but I don't understand the fucking word.
Yeah.
So that was my idea.
No, it just opens up your door to a larger audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and especially the German market is pretty much, let's call it spiraling down with nerd shit, figures and everything, because currently we have the problem that there are nerds that only do it because it's cool currently.
Hipsters.
Yeah, you know, right. That's kind of the thing. You're currently doing it because you have all those girls that are coming around and wearing shirts with checkers and glasses and oh, I'm the nerd. Hey, bitch, you better calm down. You just found some glasses, you know. So that's not being a nerd.
What? Dude, fucking checkers, man. That screams nerd to me.
Yeah, but it's just you're a blonde bombshell. You look balls to the walls amazing, you know. But you just look like it. But you don't have the idea. That's not about spending hundreds or whatever money. You know, it's just the mindset. That's the thing. So that's a problem I saw. So I'm just saying it loud, keeping it real, something like that.
Just in the chat goes, I need to move to Germany. I love checkers and bitches with glasses.
That should have been the name of the show.
Bitches with glasses.
Yeah, but that way.
So, Tim, you know,
Yeah.
you're a pretty well-known photographer in the community at this point. You've been shared by Dame Chuck. You know, what got you started in all this? What was your inspiration?
Pretty much people like Kuma Style or Series 209, or also Cybertron Warriors. Those guys made amazing pictures, and I enjoy every single one of them because they have different approaches. You know, Kuma Style, that's totally clean pictures. There's no bullshit about it. You just get the clean details, nothing around it, and then those awesome details. And you have Cybertron Warriors with all those stories. That's almost kind of, you know, outdoor. Tentacles too, Daryl Lacey. He's also a good dude doing amazing photography, and that's what I tried. That's what I tried because I was always complaining, and I hate that shit. I want to do something with figures, and I can't do monetary, like financial stuff and anything. So I wanted to do something else. That's why I brought me a camera. That's why I started just setting up shit, and that's why I did the whole channel thing, because this is something that I can do. This is something where my heart flows in, which is now a big part of my hobby, and which I wanted to do, and which is pretty much thriving for now.
And you know, Jose, you recently got started. You know, what was your inspiration?
I just remember seeing like some of the pics on Instagram. You know, when I kind of first started getting into that app like years ago. And it just goes back to like how I discovered third party. Like I just, you know, saw these figures that were, you know, super articulated, and I can't, you know, remember the original photographers at the time, but, you know, just searching some of those hashtags and seeing the photography of some of those third party figures, like that introduced me to that whole world. Looked really good. And then that's kind of like I was like, man, that looks good. It's what sparked me into buying them. And then that was my way of kind of getting my enjoyment out of them once I did get these figures in hand, you know?
Yeah.
You know, like my way of like floor time, you know what I'm saying? Like rooming, you know?
You have that identity. Right. You know, Tim, you definitely have a lot of identity with yours and your backdrops. And,
Thank you.
You know, Jose, like when I see your, I love what you do with your backdrops too, the very bold colors and the reflections.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just want to bounce some ideas. I know a lot of people out there want to get started. You know, what advice do you guys have?
Just start.
Just start.
Pretty much just start. It's just a thing from my heart. You don't have two left hands. You got kind of a head for anything. You want to do something, just start. I started in my attic. I started with
In the attic.
Dave, did you know
My
that?
attic.
That is when I'm actually home in my attic.
Taking pictures of Dave's dingleberries.
You guys on the panel, I mean, you guys have pretty big collections. I know, Dave, you put your stuff up. Have any of you guys, you know, like Dave, have you thought about taking any pictures of your stuff? Toys, not your stuff.
Yeah, Dave's done it. He's done it.
I know you got the energy. Man, now I feel like an asshole.
Do you know what Dave photos?
Do you even figure photography, bro? Nah, Dave does it. But it's just few and far in between. I wish he did it more. So, Dave, why don't
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah,
The thing is, I don't.
Jordan,
I don't-
you can find Dave's stuff on Instagram at
I see he likes my Facebook posts.
I actually did a pic today, Jordan. So,
I haven't been on Instagram today. I was working.
You're not
It's
popular,
alright.
Dave. You're not popular.
It's what Jose said. It's too far and in between. I don't have much privacy at home, so it's since I would say since the baby came, it slowed down a lot because I just don't have the time. I don't have a minute to be Dave. When I do, it's usually I spend it with you guys here. So
I don't have the time to be Dave.
Oh shit! You got that grinder picture.
Yeah,
That's really good.
yeah.
And he's always cooking, so he can't use his platform. So
Oh yeah, that's it too. I would say a majority of my pictures are taken on my range of my on my kitchen stove. I showed the guys when they were over the house. it was the only platform that I had to do to take pictures. But a lot of my stuff was always like heavily filtered. Like, you know what I mean? Like I would find stuff online and filter through it or use an app for it. I just recently started getting into using less of a filter. I still might use one or two, but I'm trying to do like what Jose's doing now. Try using like lighting and backdrops and stuff like that because it's just cleaner. It also it's interesting to see how somebody progresses. At least how I progress. Like if I go back a year and look at some of the stuff I did a year ago, I was like, damn, man, that's fucking trash. But, practice makes perfect. And like Tim said, just jump out there and try, and you'll progressively get better. I still consider myself very novice at it, but I do ask questions to, like he said, with some of these dudes that he mentioned. I'll message them and be like, hey, how the fuck did you do that? Because I can't do that in my kitchen, and a lot of it has to do with the setup that you have. You need lighting, you need a decent camera. I've always used a phone.
Well, that was my next question: is what you used?
Yeah. Well, I just use my phone primarily. I don't own a camera. So.
Yeah, but Dave, you said it. You said it just like Tim said it. The thing is just if you want to do it, if you have the idea of it, just get started. And, I just got started. I didn't have any backgrounds to begin with. I was doing it right here on my table, same table that I got right here, right now on my setup. Yeah. And just taking pictures of my figures and stuff like that, just different angles and stuff like that. And then eventually, like through Instagram, again, like I just got, found certain pages that would give you tips and stuff. So like the three main apps that I use as far as like to kind of just tweak like the color balance, and maybe, you might have to brighten the photo or darken it a little bit and mess with the ambiance. I use Snapseed, PixArt, and another app called PixLR. So between those three apps, I could pretty much do like whatever I want to do with a photo. And I don't even really do much. There's other photographers that do a lot more with their photography. And I'm like, man, I wish I could get to their level, like guys like The Amazing and X Specials and Kuma Style, you know what I'm saying? Like guys that get real clean shots, and a bunch of the guys that do the ACBA type photography, which is like no effects at all. Pretty incredible things, So, if you want to do it, just get started. And you could always reach out to people if you have any, questions, because a lot of people in that community are willing to help others. And, it just practice makes perfect. Like Dave said, just start doing it, and eventually you'll see yourself get better.
Yeah, and Dave, you gave me a demo once at Dust House, man. That was pretty damn easy.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I don't know if it's same for you, Jose, or you, Tim. With the pictures you guys take, but it's therapeutic, and I would say that, like, when I use the filters or the apps, like I'm playing around with it. I'm trying to say, you know what? It's boring. A wall is kind of boring, so I want to make an explosion, or I want to make a battle scene or something going on, and as I'm doing that, it takes a lot of time. Like especially on a phone, if you don't have like, what's that thing everybody uses on Photoshop on their computers? It's kind of easy. You could give a lens flare to somebody with a click. Yeah. When you do it on a phone, you have to play with it manually. You have to get it the right size in order for it not to look retarded.
I was
And
gonna say
paint-
like most of the apps suck too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to
Yeah,
work
well, the
with
thing
them
is,
at times.
the thing is also putting backgrounds in photos is way harder on a smartphone than on Photoshop, because on
Mhm.
Photoshop you can just mask it and you can put up that background, and then you can just erase what you don't need. This is fiddly bits. This is really hard work. But once you have it done, like what Dave said with doing lights and everything, what I did with the Sovereign and Andras and Eliga shot with the lightning in the background. This was just the three figures lighting in the back, so you have the lightning actually coming from the back, and then you just put a picture in front of it, and you just erase what you don't need, and somewhere down the line you're done. You still need a few more effects, like a little bit lens flaring at here, and then a little bit contrast, saturation. But otherwise, this shit would have been impossible on the smartphone.
Mhm.
I bought one of these too. I'm gonna plug this. I mean, anybody watching can see. Anybody listening, you can't. But I just got this. I literally got this week. I mean, it changes the color, so you can get that
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
that
shit,
lighting
yeah.
that you're
Yeah.
looking for.
Different lighting
Yeah.
effects. Yep.
You know?
That's
What's that called, Dave?
Fuck if I know. I could tell you in a second if you give me a minute.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
call
You
it
get the
disco
box.
light or something like that,
'Cause
right?
yeah,
It's LED
Yeah.
car light.
LED car light,
PAR, like PAR.
par. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess people use this like in front of their houses and stuff like that to like
Oh, okay.
Like- stuff like that, or parties, because this thing will flash too, and it'll do like certain noises too and shit.
Mhm.
But like I'm just doing
Bip,
it
bip, bip, bip,
to take pictures.
Dave, do you ever bring that into the bedroom?
I just got it today, bro. That's why I took a pic. I haven't took a pic in a while. I took one
Dance,
today.
baby,
I
dance.
want to test it out.
It's gonna be like a WWE entrance feed.
No, that's dope. It doesn't take much. Like sometimes, like I had an idea to do that, something similar, like nothing fancy like that, but just to get different colored light bulbs and just put them in my lamp, and you just get a little bit of a different ambiance when you're taking a photo. And then you could go to just a dollar store if you don't, I know sometimes, people don't have dough to spend on an expensive diorama or something like that. You could just go to the dollar store, get some poster board, different color poster board, use that as a background. And then the different apps that I mentioned earlier could give you just different looks and different effects and different things that you could add to the photo just to improve it and make it look, super nice, even though you're doing it no frills,
True Star Screamer. Oops, sorry, man.
I was gonna say one thing I did. I took one ACBA photo in my life a couple months ago.
The Jedi one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went to one of those like Michael's, or what's the other one? I forget. But
AC Moore.
yeah, it's the other one. And I just bought some felt squares of different colors, and you put them over a regular light, and you get your red, your green, all that stuff. It worked out really easy.
Good hack.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I have with, I don't know, it's a package of thin foil. It's multicolored. I don't know, like 100 sheets, and I just put them over my construction lights and I just clamp it.
Yeah.
So I have red. I combine it to different shades of green or yellow or whatever. Works perfect.
It was weird though when I was in the store and I had a little LED flashlight with me, and I'm like shining it through felt. People are looking at me.
Honestly, anything goes in a craft store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta test fit stuff and everything. Like when I'm getting stuff for a costume, it is I don't want to be any onlooker. We'll just leave it there. True Star Screamer says that Five Below is a good place to get lights. I was interested in one of the light boxes, and I see those are pretty cheap on Amazon.
Yep.
Jose, that's what you use.
Actually, I don't. I actually ordered that thing, and they used I just couldn't get it delivered to me. Like they just kept missing the delivery. They wound up sending it back. But no, I picked up. I usually have a diorama that I picked up from somebody on Instagram, and I've gotten a couple from Chris now. I actually got a brand new one, and I got a piece that I left behind at his crib on Skullfest weekend. So now I'm gonna take some pictures. He made me a little tiny town from my masterpiece scale transformer. So can't wait to unveil that for everybody, take a few pictures. And, so that's what I use, basically. I'll use a mix of dioramas and, like I said, the pretty cheap poster board that you could get at any dollar store or home store. And just basically, use those little app effects and, tweak the colors, tweak the balance a little bit. And that's it. pretty much. Add a little lens flare and hashtag lens flare.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I tried too. That's I started out with some adjustable LED lights, but those weren't delivering the ones I wanted, and I didn't wanted those big like umbrella lights from the professional studio, because you clutter the whole room with it. You have different possibilities, so that's why I'm using construction lights in a 10-watt range now.
But Tim, with that cloud that you have, an umbrella would be really
a 10-watt range. That shit just reminded me from the line from Terminator when he's in the gun store and he's like, "Do you have that plasma rifle with a 10-watt range or some shit like that?" Yeah. Damn, Tim. I know that's like your favorite movie too. Real quick, let me shout out Dave, because look, I was just going through his Instagram feed and he got a pretty dope picture. I hope it shows up on camera. Look at that. Like, the effects and stuff like that, and the angle that he took of that Dinobot. Like
I took that on my table, on my dining room table.
Dude, that's awesome.
And look, with all the effects and stuff you added, like I don't even really know how to do shit like that. Like I know I could do something like that, but my creative vision is not like yours. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
So
that's also like Lionel Medina. Sorry to cut you off. Like Lionel Medina does the same thing. His pictures are full with effects, like totally, I don't know, over the top, but that shit works. It just looks glorious.
Yeah, it looks like it's almost like animated, like
It's like he's rotoscoping it almost.
Yeah, got to keep doing stuff like that, man, and just keep doing it. And I fall out of it too. Like I haven't took a picture in a while. I got back to it it recently and took a bunch of stuff. I got stuff in the can that I haven't even put out yet, but just life has been busy. You know what I'm saying? So I want to just take a step back and get right back in.
Yeah, JD, I see your tattoo photography all the time.
Yeah. I mean, every now and again I post pictures of toys, but I mean that was the whole, the snowstorm. That was perfect. I was waiting like all winter to get a good snow, and when we finally did, I missed it, and then luckily we got a surprise snowstorm. But I mean, back to like dioramas and shit. Like it was the whole reason I started building. I just want to take like rad pictures and appreciate my toys and put them in the setting that they belong in, and sometimes I get a chance to take pictures. My main problem is I hate social media, so I usually don't post shit regardless. Like, I'm busy all week at work, and I might post something once a month, and it's either toy related or tattoo related. So, but I would really love to do it, and I do spend a lot of time building this stuff too, which kind of takes away from being able to throw down the time and set stuff up. And
I'd love to see you document the process of you building it. Kind of like how Chris has been going live with Crashbox. Would you consider doing something like that?
I can help with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I documented that a little bit. I took a few photos and I just kind of documented what I did also. So if you don't mind me doing it, I could screen share and could show you guys.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, that's another thing too. I wanted to get to is if you could screen share and show us some of your pictures and just walk us through the process.
Yeah, definitely. So I gotta see. Okay, I got the folder up now. So the last thing I'm currently shooting is the Soul of Shogoken Voltron.
Gary's not here. So.
Everybody drink.
Yeah,
drink.
Tim, you're gonna get me drunk.
So you all seen it?
Better keep your freaky German shit away from me.
So you all seen the screen share?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So that's the finalized pieces. The small banner up here, I just did in Photoshop, just a small idea with my logo and everything. At first, I got it cut off here, so I have it pretty much mounted in the corners. Didn't want to do that, so I copied the lines over here to there. Mm-hmm. Pretty much basic shit. The photo wasn't quite the problem. You just put in the ISO work, put it at 100 to have it really crisp, and then also have the shutter speed. I always use the same shutter speed that works for me with the lights and everything. It accommodated pretty much everything. And the backlighting, I don't fiddle with that stuff either. I have it on automatic, so it works. It works great by itself. And when I post the figure, I just look, how does it look the most realistic and the best, and also always at least try to get my foot down so it looks really smooth, like really coherent. So that shot pretty much plays out as that I have my hanger. That's a rigger from IKEA. And those backgrounds that I have myself printed just come in this cardboard roll. I cut it up, I put it over so the bend of the backgrounds isn't too big. Mm-hmm. Then I have those two background claps, and I have it on a plywood sheet on the back here. That's just behind my my closet. In the corner here, I have a darkened cloth at the window. And then I have my working lights. I have also more cardboard pillars over here. I built them myself, so I have the working lights set up, and two small pieces of cardboard cut as a frame. That's pretty much with a white piece of paper, so you diffuse the light, because that's pretty much what one side, on the other side. I first tried it like that, it didn't work, so I had to put up a frame so the light really comes through it and diffuses it.
Tim, with those backgrounds that you use, that you printed out, that are on the rolls, did you come up with that stuff yourself with Photoshop, or did you find that online and print it out from somewhere?
Well as I have my Decepticon and Autobot backgrounds, I combined them. I wanted the retro feel of the G1 intro, but I wanted just a little bit stylized logo in the background to accompany it, and only for my Transformers photography. So that I came up with myself. Okay. The universe you see here, I just found it online, and I cropped it to the format of my other backgrounds. So I have now a folder with backgrounds.
Not to interrupt. Is that like an aquarium backdrop?
No, it's custom printed by a company called. Well, it's a pun on German. We do pressure, because we call it Druck, print. So the company is pretty much called We Do Printing, and that's a double A2 format, double A0, so very big. And I just, like I said, I put it up on a plywood and use those diffusers with the 10-watt construction light, and the diffuser does this away to this, so you don't have the problem of the lighting in the back anymore.
I see.
So that's what diffusing is for, because otherwise this you can touch up just a little in Photoshop. You put a mask over there, you take the light glue from here with a stamp, and you just put it over here, and you just opaque this just a little, so it just works. So that's pretty much my process. I have a small shelf up here with my lighting stuff, little box for music, some additional things for the photography, and the batteries for my Iron Man. I use gloves now, so especially on the Voltron, I don't have fingerprints on the chrome and the different
you are
color
so
things.
Fancy, Tim. Jesus.
Oh yeah.
I see him posing, and he's got the pinky out.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I saw that was pretty horrible. I set up this photo the first time, and I saw fingerprints everywhere. And then I remembered, hey, I still have those gloves in the bathroom, and I don't use it. And then I said, why not use it for this? And it works perfect. I just polish it a little bit, gloves, done.
Yeah, Tim, who are you rooming with at TFCon again?
Todd Larison.
He's a lucky guy, because you're gonna be the best guest in that room. I could see it already.
Hand jobs with gloves.
Tim's the type of dude that unpacks his bag and actually uses the drawers and puts the folded clothes in the drawers.
I don't know about that, but I try to be as good as I can be. So and that's pretty much the last to close it off. That's the tripod I use with the fitting and everything, and you can put out the angles, and I can extend it to, I don't know, like 6 foot. So that's pretty tall, and those are some macro lenses. You just screw it on top of the actual lens, and I have ×1, ×2, 4, and 10. So the last one really puts up macro shots. like really extreme macro shots. I can show you one last thing, which I did with a times 10.
Damn,
that
those are some big titties.
Yeah, that had to happen.
Whoever's listening on audio is like, man, I gotta fucking get that YouTube.
That's why, yeah. Check us out.
Exactly why I
Like and
said
share.
it. For all you audio listeners, you're missing the
So
baby show.
that's the spot that was way before I did everything, and that was done with a times 10 macro lens. That is the small
Yeah, so that gets-
1 inch figure of Abaddon from the
Yep.
X-Transport LED
That
glass.
gets pretty
Wow.
close up then.
You can see all the screw marks.
You can see all the screw marks. That's right. So that's pretty much my process. So if you I don't know if you have any questions or want me to show something again, you can just shoot. Whatever.
So what camera do you use?
That's a Nikon D3100 with a Tamron macro lens, I believe 18 to 200 millimeters.
When you started with the figure photography, did you start straight away with like a camera, like a high-end camera, or did you start with like a smartphone?
I started with the Fujifilm FinePix digital camera, but those things do damn grainy pics. So that's one advice I can do. If you want to start, the best thing is to use your camera on a smartphone, because those get all those pro settings nowadays with ISO 100 and matrix sharpening engine and everything. So that's perfect. Otherwise, if you want to have it really professional and everything, but you got to get your mind to it, use a DSLR. There's nothing better.
Yeah.
And those are really pricey cameras, right? Because I know
Yep.
nothing of it. So you're talking
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
over $1,000, right, for one of those?
No,
No.
not that much.
You've
But you're gonna
spent
be
a few
spending
$100
like
bucks.
$350, yeah, maybe.
Oh, Hot
you know,
Toys
then if you
money.
wanna
That's
spend
easy,
yeah,
man.
yeah. Invest in your hobby. Invest in your hobby, bro.
That's like
That's
10
it.
SH Fig Arts, man. That's all good. That's fine.
So, Tim,
chill
I
with buying some stormtroopers for a little while, and you'll be fucking straight.
want to ask Tim. So you made the jump to the DSLR.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to learn how to use it?
The learning process, like, really cut down to what it was. Wasn't too hard and too long. At first, I was kind of confused by it. I looked at the whole settings and everything, because there is much to do. There's very much to do. You have the backlighting, you have the ISO, you have the shutter speed. But
Right.
I had the great honor of contacting and also learning from Kevin Clarkson. He's doing the 6-scale photography group, and he said to me, that was also through Ryan Falk, Series 209 on Instagram. Shout out to that dude. He's doing the clearest Hot Toys figures. He said, hey, if you want to learn about it, I can show you a little bit, but I'm just a novice. But if you join 6-scale photography, you can learn from Kevin Clarkson. And I just hit him up, and he pulled me over a few spreadsheets, just showing me what is what, how works with what, and it works. It just essentially,
Okay.
I had the spreadsheet. It was self-explanatory. I set up my camera. I tried a few pictures with a tripod, and it just worked. So,
Okay. So there's sort of a formula to it already then.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Also YouTube with Photoshop and everything, how you do stuff, like with lens flare, how do you do it, or graining stuff, like the effects I use now with lightning or dust or flames or anything. I have now a pretty big library of effects, like only PNGs that I add there, and I just mask it and erase what I don't need, put filters over it, layer effects. It's all pretty specific, but once you have it, doesn't take away much time anymore.
Cool.
I dig it.
I guess with anything practice, the more you do it, the easier it becomes, and then the less time consuming it becomes,
Absolutely. My banner is pretty much only copy and paste and do a different color and do the names, and that's pretty much it. And then from picture to picture, like the Voltron, I now have almost 100 pictures of Voltron done. And with the layer effect I now use, it breaks open the gleaming color effect around it, and it just combines the gleaming of the banner with the background a little bit. So you have the stars that illuminates the banner just a little bit more, and on one picture the blue is a little bit too hard, so you pull down the opacity a little bit, and on the other you just put the layer effect just a little bit higher. You just play with it.
Yeah. In regards to like
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Go ahead, Dom.
No, I just want to know how long he plays with it until he gets it right.
Right, because it's not very hard, right?
There you go, Brian.
So,
You got my
I got a question
Just don't slip.
for Tim and Jose in a way. It's kind of a question that I'm asking myself, but you guys
always thinking about yourself.
always thinking about myself. Do you guys feel, and I'm stirring the pot a little bit, but when the Realm used to have those photo challenges, it kind of pushed you a little further to get better, to take more pictures, to kind of share more because you kind of want to get on that spotlight or you want to win a contest or whatever the case may be? I mean, for me, it was that. That's what got me going.
What happened to Jay Ruse?
Yeah,
exactly.
Competitive motherfucker. Competitive.
I took a bunch of pictures of the Figma Link and some of my Dragon Ball Z figures, and I tried to do it. I tried to get Jay Roos to notice me, but I ain't getting no love.
Well, if he's listening, we ought to bring those back.
Yeah, fuck you, Jay Roos.
Yeah, I'm surprised we actually didn't do it last night. I forgot. We must have forgot that segment.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Well, there was good Batcube talk, so
Tisk.
So you're not answering my question though, Tim. Did you find
I didn't get the question. That was
when the Realm used to do the challenges, the photo challenges, right?
No.
You used to get amped up because I remember you saying, "Oh shit, I was mentioned this week. Oh shit, my photo 2 weeks in a row."
Yeah, of course.
Right. So it kind of pushes you inspires you, I should say, to do more. Right.
Yeah, but you get the transition very easy. At first, you're like, okay, hey, they recognize me. That's pretty cool. I want to do another, and then you don't get the recognition, but you don't fall down. You see, okay, there was something special about it, and on the other, obviously there wasn't, or it's just a logic thing because 2 or 3 weeks in a row, you gotta.
It can't be your turn every time, Tim. Only if your name is Tentacles, all right?
And that's
my fucking sandbox.
What I find though in the community, the toy photography communities, you meet a lot of good people because a lot of the people that I met through the Realm, I knew them already from Instagram, from their pictures.
Yep.
It wasn't that I knew who they were. It was like, oh shit. So like fried fish halibut, for example, right? So that's my homie, right? We're cool. We text once in a while. We meet up at NJCC. But I knew him from pictures prior to meeting him, like for over a year. Same thing with Cybertron Warriors, and now we're cool. So it's interesting to meet people through that same aspect too. Taking pictures and sharing them.
Yeah.
To answer,
that's also. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Tim. Go ahead.
So that's pretty much what I wanted to say. At first, it's like you're a little greedy. You just wanna get people to recognize that. But once you've done that once and you see I'm doing something right, to answer your question directly, it transitions to I just want to do what I feel healthy with, and I just want to do that. I look up on my workstation and I see I did this picture and I'm 100% satisfied with it. Nothing else.
Right. Yeah.
So
my
you
answer.
hang on your refrigerator.
Yeah, my answer is similar to Tim's. Like the Realm of Collectors challenge that we used to run was pretty awesome, and it was great to see everybody throwing in their photos and using the hashtag and seeing the features every single week on Mondays. But for me, like I just try to hope that what I was doing looked okay, you know what I'm saying? And I was kind of like just trying to hang in there and be in the game. I think anybody that does that takes photos or does artwork, like they're and you just feel like you're never, your thing might never be good enough. But I always heard good things from different people in the community and stuff like that. So and it is nice to get that recognition. So so I do understand like the drive for when those challenges were in place. that the way it can push people to be like, yeah, let me throw my hat in the ring. Like, Dave, you're super competitive, so that was a driving force for you.
Hell
You
yeah.
know, yeah, just like the weight loss challenge, like Gary that The Rock had going was a motivator for me. So different things motivate different people.
Exactly.
But for me, as far as for me, the figure photography, it wasn't about that for me. It was just basically just doing what I do and trying to improve. So when I look at it, I could be like, man, that looks good. I'm trying to set a scene and be like a director in my own mind. And I feel like I have to work on that because I see other people doing it so much better. And I'm like, man, I need to get to that level.
But you set that bar.
Yeah, that's what drives me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Dope.
You got to get back in the game, Dave. I was going through your feed, dude, and to me, I'm like, yo, you're taking pictures that to me, I feel like, yo, that's he's doing better than me, and
What
you
kind
might
of
be
bot is
feeling
that?
like, oh, no, again, you take better pictures, like So I'm looking through your feed. I'm like, these are dope. Do it, dude.
But that's the thing. There's no better. There's only you.
It's
You do what
exactly.
you enjoy.
Different visions are beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
Every picture is unique. Every picture is an original piece. You know what I mean? It's like you're not taking that from a movie or something. It's your vision and you're throwing it together. So
you're framing it in a way that looks appealing to you and hoping others feel the same.
Yeah.
And then Dave did here. Your stuff was done on a stovetop. Holy shit! I'm serious. I'm looking through your feed. I'm like, why have I never seen these before? And and then to hear how you did it, and it's just it's incredible.
Incredible looking pics, man.
Wait. Dave takes photos?
Well, Dom, we already knew you were an asshole. I mean,
I got a few pictures of Dom. I'll share with you guys later.
Cool. Woo, jump into the
I've already seen them. He sent the same ones to me.
It's titled "Fucking with Sasquatch." It's really great.
Oh, you read
the whole series. It's great.
Don't make me Photoshop that, Dom.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone, Jordan.
To get me off that subject, Mr. Brink, how is the chat looking?
Fucking chat is on fire. It's good shit, man. Shout out to the chat squad.
Chat squad.
Chat squad.
Let's see here. Somebody check the thumbs up here while I go through this.
Yo, Gary, did you put a thumbs down? You son of a bitch.
As soon as I said he was dead.
Just one thumbs down. That's Gary. I know it's Gary.
He's not dead. He's dead to us tonight.
All right. Starting off the list here, we got Chat Winging Him in here.
Winging him.
Got Rob Prime 20. We got Antoine Mega 81 in here. Road War 71. Sportimus Danny B. Retro Now. Walter was in here.
Now.
Seeing Walter here.
Now.
We'll be seeing Walter here in TFCon here soon enough. Let's go. We got Knight of Ren, Mervine 48. Ralph L was in here. Adamus Nitron, Noble Young, Jiraiya Sama 7. We got Waddy Watts. What's up, Waddy Watts?
Waddy Watts. What's up?
Frogman 78.
Frogman.
What up, Frogman?
On Sunday Heat, Lord Shadowkeeper. We have Parts Former in here, Jedi Mindset, Gabriel, Paul S, Honeychild, Nick Brown. We had Riverbots. We had Jason Y in here. I haven't seen Jason in a while. Dare 2727. We had the one and only Jisk 1 in the chat today.
Nice.
Just
Alexandre B, T-Man 978, the True Star Screamer, and Russ the Muss. Oh, and look at this. We had Deluxe Baldwin coming here right at the end.
Oh, hey, baby.
He knew I was doing a giveaway.
Hi.
I said,
just came up with a new one.
How my star?
Just came up with a new one. He says, "Chat kinging them, chat kinging them." We got to start calling him. He's the chat king.
For all the lovely people in that, we got a nice little giveaway tonight. As a lot of people know, Black Panther is out on physical media today. We have a digital code to give away from one of y'all.
Sweet.
So we got one stipulation now. Not only do you have to participate in the chat, you also have to be a member of the Rumble Collectors Facebook group. So if we pick you, you have to be in the group.
Join.
Claim your prize.
Yeah.
Contact us to claim your prize.
Answer the questions.
So if you're not in the group and you win, you can
That's
join and claim your prize.
Right. Brian Brink. That was a nice amount of people in the chat squad
Yes,
tonight. That's dope. Like that.
If you got a nice amount of likes in there too. 35 likes.
Nice. Yeah. If you're in there, you haven't hit that like button. Hit that like button, guys.
You gotta-
Kill boss
Gary.
us.
Yeah, there we go.
Change your dislike to a like, Gary.
Got a KBS.
What are you thinking, doing, Gary?
Where are you?
He's like, oh, I'm not on the show tonight. I'm not on the
Gary's
show
doing an
tonight.
extra 5 sets tonight.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
he's doing.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. I gotta work out my triceps.
just that Black Panther is a 6 at best. I think that's what he's referring
I know.
Well,
I know.
Ooh,
Just-
shots fired.
just 6 isn't getting the code, so
Hey, you know I haven't seen that shit yet.
Oh,
Me
20?
Me neither.
Yeah, man. I gotta watch it. I'll probably pick it up.
it's good.
All right.
Dave,
Oh, so you must have been lost in the
Tony
Infinity
Savage?
War then.
the Maze Runner movie came out already, so you should
Lord
be watching.
Shadowkeeper, Fernando.
Hey,
hit me up, buddy. Get you that
Nice.
code.
Who won it?
Lord Shadowkeeper.
Oh, that's dope. You don't have to pay that extra shipping to Puerto Rico.
Yes, sir.
Send the code.
Don't tell him that.
I'm just kidding.
It's
I don't
cost
know.
$15 to send you the code.
Hey, well, then Facebook Messenger is a hell of a thing. So it saves me on shipping. So let's run down the panel, get some more yats. Brian Brink, where can people find you?
You can find me, Brian Brink, in the Facebook groups and Brinkalizer on Instagram. I'm going to be out dancing in the rain here soon as we close shop. It is raining.
It's thundering out here.
Struck
Well,
by
you-
lightning.
Why are you gonna be dancing?
Because I'm happy.
You?
So happy. I couldn't tell.
Dave, where can everybody find you?
And a John Addict on Instagram, Dave Cologne in the Facebook groups here on Tuesday. And I just want to say one thing, guys. Something that's been like in my mind for a while, especially with you fools on this thing. It's more than toys. So that's all I'm gonna say. This whole thing, everything we do, it's more than just toys. Keep that in
Dave,
mind.
I'll be hitting you up for a double date soon. Trust me.
I'm down.
All right, Big Dom. How about you, buddy?
You can find me on Dave Stovetop posing, being all sexy like. Just make sure you get
Buttery
get
nipples.
make sure you get that lens flare in the right spots.
Yeah, Dave, I'm gonna have to fucking Photoshop the hell out of you.
Oh God.
Whoa!
Pay me
I know,
what-
I know it'd be a lot of work, but keep it to yourself.
Dave will have to vacuum all the hair off of his stuff.
Listen.
Public hairs.
Listen. It's all spice. It's all spice and nice. Adds flavor. You can find me on the Facebook page at Dominic Grasso and here Tuesday nights with you guys.
Right on. Jose, how about you, buddy?
All right, guys. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Xbox Live, and the PlayStation Network, all at Harrican BX. And here with you guys every day you want. I started my own little podcast challenge, which is available on iTunes and Podcast Addict and any other platform that you prefer. Check it out if you'd like. And that's it. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, the original meat bag.
Woo!
That's the king.
Meat bag.
The
King
king of
meat bag.
all
Okay,
meat
The
bags.
king of meat bags.
Okay.
All. Yeah, you can find me. I don't know, maybe sleeping here soon. But Facebook groups, you can find me JD Brocious. Instagram, Xbox Live, Pigment Surgery. Here with these guys every Tuesday, chopping it up, and sometime on finger bagging.
when Ace brings it back, he's making progress though.
Yep.
Weren't you finger banging yourself earlier?
Woo! God damn it, Dave! I told you not to fucking. Did you show people those pictures?
No, they're only
Okay,
for
good.
me.
Thank you.
Instagram.
At least there's that. All right.
And Tim, our guest tonight, let's know where everybody can find you at.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say thank you for having me. Nice to be back, even if it's just a small guest stint. So thank you very much. Had a great time. You can find me, Tim K, in the Facebook groups, at Figure Photography Crate on Instagram and Facebook, Tim K's Nerd Crate on YouTube, and pretty much same as Jose, I got a podcast going now, GNP, German Nerd Podcast. It's German, but if you want to get into it, feel yourself invited. Thank you very much, guys.
I got that Rosetta Stone.
Awesome, man.
Thanks for being here, dude.
Anytime.
It's good.
Anytime.
Yeah, man. Thanks for hanging.
Word. As for me, you can find me in the Facebook groups as James Jordan, here with these fine gentlemen every Tuesday night. And you can find me on Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, Extra Zero, and on Twitter at The Original Zero. Shout out to friends of the show, Tim at Figure Photography Crate on Instagram, tfprototype.com, third-party TF Crashers on Facebook, kumastyle.com, Retro Now on YouTube, Totally Knocked Off, or TKO, Blackout and Shout. You can check us out on the web, the interwebs, realmofcollectors.com, where we've got merchandise available for purchase on the site. All the proceeds that we make there go right back into what we do and help us out and help fund any future merchandise we got down the road. When TFCon starts to roll in, we'll have some rock boxes, hopefully. So we always appreciate the love and support. You can join us on Facebook, the Realm of Collectors group. We'd love to have you. If you haven't already joined, we're on Instagram at Realm of Collectors. You can send any What's the Fucking Box and Shelf Life videos to entertherealmcast at gmail.com. And we are a proud part of the Cool Table Network. Come on up, pull up a chair. We are a network of like-minded individuals. Check out the following podcasts on the Cool Table Network, including Enter the Realm, Plastic Fanatics, Shattered Cast Uncut, Toy Decocks, Nerd Rage Radio, Beer and Bolters 40K, Stasis Lock, and 8 Weeks. We are the ROC. We're not going anywhere, so come on in and get to know us. Thanks for being here tonight, Tim, and I really enjoyed doing the show tonight. Thanks for letting me host. Hopefully I didn't fuck it up too bad. And we will see you next Tuesday.
See you.
All right.
Hey, Dave.
Like
Let's use the power light next time we do our shorter shoot, okay, buddy?